And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire. In Fontus, some aliens. Mayhem. It's around 280. Well, basically the end of around 280. I try to end streams at the beginning of a turn, at the end of a turn, and then we pick up from there after reviewing the situation. So right now we're winning with 44.3 victory score. We need a total of 50 and to be 25 more than the next closest. By the looks of it, if we hit 50, we're going to have 25 more than the next one by a long margin, because we have 25 more than the next one already. That means we need to pick up about 5.7 more victory score. Our current campaign here looks like it's got a town with about 40,000 people in it, a town with about 130,000 people in it, and a town with about 120,000 people in it. That might be enough to win, just running those down. Another thing we can be continuing to attempt to do is throw rebels at Becker. Because if we can't deplete enough of their population over here, and these three alone are not enough, then we'll have to probably figure out how to do a naval landing on someone. With the current planes, that wouldn't be too bad. We now have some vertical takeoff planes that can do like 20 range checks. Which now means we could probably do something like an invasion of Total End. Could do launching off of the end here. When we finish up with Becker here on this continent, we can do launches off the end here to get to these guys. That might with 20. 20 is probably going to be a bit of a stretch to do there to there. I'm not going to take the time to count it. We could potentially land on the island in the middle. 20 might also be that range, so it's possible to land their continent with Air Force, but it might be a bit difficult. And again, there to there probably be plausible. The last couple parts, we've been basically coming down this road. We've got a shipping line now coming into this city. So as we repair the port here, we should be able to receive more and more supplies. Quick check on the maritime things. A lot of them are at the risk of timing out, so we'll go ahead and extend to them. That's a good thing to check beginning of stream.
Yes, sir.
Just give ourselves another 10 turns on most of these.
Yes, sir.
Eventually, we might want to take the time and let some of
Yes,
these lapse so we can replace them, but
yes, sir.
not today.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
at least not right now.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. This is Nose. Okay. Nose is obviously the newest one. Where is our bottlenecking? So we've got enough. No, we don't got enough at either end in theory. So we're taking penalties at both ends. So there is an argument to improve both ends. Obviously, the end we're unloading at has problems because it got all damaged in the invasion. The other end. The other end can probably just do with an upgrade. If we save enough colonists and have enough industry, we'll probably try to upgrade that end. Looking at our monetary situation, we probably want some more money. Let's pop into nation. We're running enforcement, so we get efficiency drive every once in a while. So let's go ahead and run this a couple times to try to generate some revenue. Okay, that put us over 10k. There's a couple different cards, depending upon what set you've gone for... What am I trying to show? I'm trying to show you profile. So if you're going enforcement, you get efficiency drive, which is the card we displayed. If you go commerce, you get private investment. Private investment initially doesn't look like it gives you any money, because it just puts a lot of money into the zone. But what you can do is if you've got a decently high sales tax, this money they're eventually going to spend on buying something. And then you'll get a cash influx from the sales tax. So you got to remember to do it sooner if you need the money, but that's one way to get a bunch of money from sort of thin air, thin void. Government arguably is actually probably the worst for generating money, although it's probably the best for generating colonists. So if you can spread out a bunch, you can get a bunch of raw income that way. I also find that if you have the story modules turned on, government can sometimes be a bit hard to generate. Lots of events that want to give you commerce. It's even reasonably hard to get enforcement. I find it a little too easy to go commerce, honestly. Democracy or autocracy is pretty easy to do. I find democracy is the more rewarding of the two. And then, as you can see, we're back on Mind here. We immediately started the run, I think, on Fist. And for diplomacy reasons, it didn't stick. We're not expecting to find any new deposits, so what we've got is what we've got. Construction-wise, we've got 4 things under construction. I don't want to invest more into construction unless we end up with a problem. Although one thing to probably invest into is more petrol storage. If we're going to want to do things with planes, we're going to want a lot of petrol. And then mining overview, what's the state of our mines? One of our oil deposits is empty. I think I already put the peripheral mining into the end of last turn. Everything else is going fine, not at immediate risk of running out, or if it is, it's not savable. So when these one accessibility mines run out and they're empty, nothing we can do about it. At some point, we'll want to expand this mine and this mine, because these are level 8 mines. Although this one can only go up to level... Oh, no, that one can go up to level 3. This one can get pretty decent at 4. So at some point, we'll want to nationalize this one, and then we'll take the time to upgrade both those mines. If we haven't won the game by then, I think. Otherwise, we're working on metal soil filtration, or metal soil, or demetallization facilities. For extracting metal from the crust, which is the fallback for metal and rare earth metals. Importantly for us, rare earth metals, because we have no mines for that. We have a decent number of mines for the metal, although we always want more metal. And let's double check, remind ourselves on what demands we have pending. We have a demand to take over Notodox, and a demand to get the bureaucratic assets from 23 to 25, which is why we have bureaucratic offices and high command palace in construction. Okay. So with that going, let's go ahead and end the turn. I don't think we need more troops right now. Current ones are reinforcing. Did we bring the full 10th across? The answer is no. We did bring over 1 unit of... Oh no, we haven't brought across any of the 1st yet. Okay. I think we want to bring them across into garrisoning the dock, but we don't have enough logistics as of currently. Let's cycle the turn, see how Becker responds, or if Nebel declares on us again. So Nebel out of the 2 goes first. If we see any motion, that's probably them declaring and invading us again. We don't share any borders with them anymore. We drove them back into the sea. Nope, didn't see anything, so we probably won't see anything from them. Totalin is next. Totalin, again, we share no borders with, so we saw something that would be a thing for concern. And then we've got Becker. Becker, we're probably expecting to see some stuff. Although, what they do is probably not concerning. We've got a lump of their troops here, sort of pocketed here. It looks like they have a port there, so I think they brought some more troops in, is what we saw. So if we can crush that pocket, then we continue to push with the majority of the forces down the peninsula. Okay, should be coming around to us shortly. Here we go. Round 281, we have 10 decisions awaiting us. Industrial accident is going to be one of them. Moral high standing is going to be another. Moral high standing again, so that's going to be 3 of our events. Three of our 10 events right there. New director for the Economic Council. Probably want the one with some capacity, so cap 2, or suitability 10. Yeah, you're getting the job.
Copy that.
What would we like to operationalize? Too worried about Grenadier. Armored Grenadier. Not too worried about armored or light armored. Mechanized is a little bit interesting. Mechanized heavy. I think we already have mechanized normal. Either that we haven't discovered it. So we've got two choices for mechanized here. So it's mechanized heavy MG and mechanized heavy Grenadier. We've got motorized heavy siege, motorized heavy Grenadier. So it's motorized heavy siege Grenadier, motorized heavy Grenadier, motorized heavy siege, heavy MG, heavy siege Grenadier Army, heavy Grenadier Army. So I'm seeing lots of heavies, which I think are the slightly denser version of the normal version. That's something I'm going to resolve or make my unit overview. So I'm basically going to go and make a game where I basically research all of these. Mechanized siege infantry. I think we'll do mechanized siege infantry here.
Affirmative.
Siege is usually something you want motorized or mechanized. So we can interrogate them, or we can just send the troops in. We'll try to interrogate them.
Yes, sir.
Critical failure. Well, that's not good. Industrial accident. Okay.
Copy that. Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Okay, so most of these
Roger
bad
that.
events, except for this one, we've succeeded at. Legendary courtesan. Oh, Ludamas. Okay, so in the future, if we think we need to,
Roger.
you know, make arrangements, we need to remember that's where that person is. Another 8,000 oil in that well. That's not going to last for very long. That was presumably a bad roll. We'll get one more expand attempt, and then that well will go empty. And yes, our logistics must be quite saturated because I think nothing got delivered as far as reinforcements. It's like ammunition just ate all the deliveries. Okay. And we are going to want to carry out an assault here. Let's use the reconnaissance forces and get some recon first. Airplane, give me a buzz. Or helicopter, give me a buzz.
Birds are in the sky. Whiskey Tango
Okay,
Fox
so we got basically perfect recon on them. We'll send the fighter bombers after the rear hex. Yes, we do think we have a fall
Birds are in
through.
the sky. Whiskey Tango Fox
Not quite perfect recon on that hex, but good enough. And again, let's start the attack. So, lead the attack with the armored vehicles. You have an artillery piece here that can get involved. Let's use brown and red. Oh, and bring you in. Can I bring you? No, I can't bring you in. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to get a third side. I think we'll bring in the people we have here. This is barely overstacked. We got decent odds here. We'll see if we can hit them hard enough that we get a follow-up.
Mission accomplished.
Maybe. So, we definitely drove them back. 28 subunits lost for the cost of 3. So, from a nutritional standpoint, that's definitely something we can tolerate. let's launch the attack. Would be a good idea to get this cleared so we can move these guys forward. It even looks like we're getting decently good odds here. Okay, so we got the pocket to collapse. 41 additional units destroyed, or additional subunits destroyed for the cost of 1 subunit. This rifle, specifically this one, was the one to bite it. Okay, with that, we've taken the hex. Apparently that is basically an unpopulated zone, so we'll just leave an occupation force there. And as action points facilitate, the remainder of our forces will continue the advance down the peninsula. I'll probably leave the 20th here for city garrison for the moment. As we run off, we're going to have to leave more and more garrisons behind, which I suppose is going to dilute our strike force a little bit. A little bit of a delay on the bureaucratic office. Not so severe that we shouldn't finish our demand on time. 44.5. Didn't get a good amount of political power. Or, well, we spent most of the political power I presumably got on our events. Let's generate our replacements. So it looks like we lost about 3 riflemen. 3 subunits of riflemen. And 1 subunit of machine guns. And yeah, we got a logistical bottlenecking here. Good to see the metal is still trending up. Still going to delay putting more construction in the queue for the moment. At least one more turn. We'll go one more turn. Next turn, I'll probably put a port upgrade in for this port. Because we're getting like 1,400 out of this. In theory, this, if we can get it up to about 2,000 or 2,500, this won't be the contributor to the bottlenecking. It'll move the contributing place to someplace else, but that's probably what we want for the moment. But yeah, right now we're either bottlenecked on the sea route or bottlenecked on the land route. The supply base we're working on should help with the land route, but should help and it fix all the problems is 2 different things. Okay, back to Becker without really saying anything. Again, we probably will, or might see something from Becker, because we have a land border with them, and we're actively fighting them. So we can imagine them bringing up reinforcements. It looks like another battalion of units has arrived at the front. That's about it. So yeah, they're definitely struggling. They're struggling more than we are at handling reinforcements, at least to this front at the moment. Although, for what precise reason is a little hard to ascertain with what information we have. I suppose they may be still struggling with rebels. We did spawn some rebels around their capital region. Round 282, we have 8 decisions. Dome breach is one of the 8. And we've acquired a new zone, which isn't super important. We've discovered heavy battle dress. That is good. When we complete researching heavy battle dress, I will probably make or start redesigning the infantry to make use of it.
Order acknowledged.
That's one reason we boosted our machine parts, is so we could support basically everyone in battle dress from a recruiting standpoint. Right now we're getting enough battle dress that we could, in theory, equip every new soldier with heavy battle dress. Upgrading everyone that's already deployed might be a bit of a stretch, but being at least be able to handle the replacements is a good idea. Dome breach, do we kind of mitigate it? And critical success. Okay. Appoint a governor. Okay, so I'm going to need another leader to be a governor.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to need to pop into here. We'll grab a senior and a junior.
Roger that.
So we can compare and contrast. So you're probably the junior. Got a capacity 2 for learning. You're probably the senior, although this is very much a military senior. With a bunch of their stats. I might actually go with the junior here, because they have improv. Although they got pretty bad will. Although I'm not planning on keeping this this city. I'm planning on merging the city into existing ones. So I'll adopt for the moment. Make you the leader. Okay. Looking back at bottlenecking, that portion of the route is good, but this portion of the route is bad. Okay, so we're saturated. Think of the unloading state. Although, that may be a state where we've got some... Yeah, okay, so we're just short of saturated is where we're at. The next thing to ship across probably was a reinforcement that didn't ship because we didn't have a unit light enough. Not because we're just bouncing along on nearly full. Okay, so this is going to be near front. We'll send in the vehicles and which army, which brigade this is, whoever purple is. Okay, just one battalion blocks us and it doesn't hold. It doesn't manage to kill a tank. We lost 1 subunit of tanks for destroying 7 hostile subunits. Do I have enough to attack? Widen the front a bit? No, I think we'll wait another turn. Don't want to blow through too many of our reserves during this attack. We didn't do any reconnaissance either for this attack here. Push the recon elements closer to the front so they can do a better recon on the next run. Construction-wise, did we have any delays? No. And the supply base is done. So not next turn, but the turn after, we should be seeing how much of an improvement that makes. The other thing to do, and we are going to attempt to do it, is I'm going to slap in a railhead here.
Yes, sir.
and we're going to rail the roadway up. That'll help with shipping down there. We're going to basically bypass this port. In fact, this is... I question whether or not we're going to keep this port. Yeah, question whether we're going to keep that port. The other thing I'm going to do is we are going to start the process of assembling a port upgrade here. So upgrade port 1 to port 2.
Understood.
So we're going to check the public workers, make sure we've got enough. Obviously we don't. Need... That's 7,500?
Understood.
Right enough workers? Yeah. Okay, so let's cycle the turn again. We're doing efficiency drive to make sure we save
Roger
10k.
that.
But otherwise I'm not going to spend most of my political power this turn. To be fair, we didn't really get very much. We spent most of it on decisions. I'd like to save up for some more Call to Rebellions, although we don't apparently only have Call to Rebellion 1s. So our current head of the Secret Service is not pulled any 3s or 2s, which could be pulled right now. Oh, I forgot to do replacements. I think we lost a tank. I think that's all we lost. But not doing replacements means the tank isn't being delivered this turn. Although, there's a decent possibility the tank's heavy enough that it wouldn't be delivered either way. Okay, should be going around us shortly. Round 283, we have 7 decisions. Ancient Weapon decision, or Ancient Weapon is going to be one of them. Its time of relative calm is surprisingly uncalm. Galactic Republican Mass Driver is able to tackle targets far above its pay grade. I'll go ahead and pick that research up. This was one of the comments, I think, on my subunit video was maybe you should include the effects like the GR Mass Driver. Notably, this is the first time I've pulled the GR Mass Driver, so I don't know what it goes on. That's the degree to how rare it usually is.
Aye, aye, sir.
Is this is the first time I
sir.
pulled it. So we've got enough fate points. We'll go and
Yes,
play
sir.
it. And then we can see what it
Copy
looks
that.
like on units.
Acknowledged. Confirming orders.
Aye, aye, sir.
There we go. Disallow supply units of a regular supply. Actually, don't allow food. Don't do tax. We don't need to tax it yet. Okay. Let's look at bottlenecks. Presumably it's still bottlenecked. Yeah. Although we've definitely improved the road. We're bottlenecking out about here. Whereas before we were bottlenecking like here to here. So, improvement. Construction. Railhead completed. That's good. We did have a delay on the high command palace, although not enough yet for us to miss our deadline. I think this is it's too round, to be fair, to be anything but a bad roll. Yeah, we suffered the bad roll. Suffered the 50% production penalty due to rolling too low on a 1% penalty. So we rolled the 1 on the D50. It happens. No delay on the port, no delay on the soil demineralization facility. We are going to go and proceed to continue upgrading that as soon as it completes. So that's good to see. And for our attack, let's send the recon out first. So helicopter, buzz that location because it's
Birds
closer
are
by.
in the sky.
The helicopter's got shorter range
Whiskey
than the.
Tango Foxtrot.
Technically, this is a fighter bomber, but than our Thopter? I always forget the names of these. I don't use the Thopters very often.
Birds are in the sky.
I'm basically just using them as glorified helicopters.
Whiskey
So
Tango Foxtrot.
there we go. So with that, we're gonna have purple here, and all the vehicles attack the town, following the road. Five to 1 is not bad odds. Although you can always get bad rolls and lose people. In fact, we did lose some.
Mission accomplished.
2 subunits destroyed, destroying 31. So 15 to 1 odds is not bad, although it was mostly amongst the armored vehicles, which is actually a little concerning. That Notodox has fallen.
Move out. Mission
For a
accomplished.
1.9 to 1 odds, that was not a bad exchange. We didn't kill very many, we only destroyed 1. Move up the recon. You know, we're hoping for repairs on the ports. The port is trying to repair, and is having some success at it. We do also need to keep up the... if we can keep the loyalty up for the workers, so we can draft enough to actually work the government in that area. But yeah, we should see the effects of the railhead coming online next turn. If that's effective, that might help a little bit more with the supplies. We've taken Notodox, so we'll complete one of our demands. One of our demands was to take this location. I'm going to splurge, and we're going to put the rail... oh no, I can't do that until the next turn. Never mind. I need to wait 1 turn to build on that last hex into Notodox, but I'm going to want to extend the rail network there as well. Railhead's done. Okay. Mining overview. You can see how that 8,000 was not lasting very long. We're already down to 5.8. Lasting long enough. Air Force on plasma engine. Working on mining techniques. I think I'm double checking this. I remembered we did not have military assigned to anything. Let's call you up. Let's research. I would like the heavy battle dress researched, please. And then Eco Council is working on Echo Tracer Spy Kit. And then we'll probably do radiation cleansing next. Well, there's nothing like fuel. I don't know what. Oh no, we'll probably do Digitonics next. Save on construction costs through difficult terrain. Okay, let's see if the demilitarization facility finishes next turn. And obviously, we continue this offensive, so we drive you back, clear out these hexes. Just keep going. No good reason to stop. Although at the moment, every city we pass, we're dropping another brigade behind to garrison the city until the logistics situation improves enough that we can bring over reinforcements en masse. I forgot to queue up the replacement tank again. That was my mistake. We apparently don't need it, but that's not a good reason not to try to get it shipping as soon as it can ship. We are also out of the marshes, so the tank should be able to off-road at this point. That was one reason we were so heavily focusing on coming down the road with the armored vehicles before, is the tanks don't off-road. Well, they do off-road, they don't off-road into marshes very well. Round 284, we've got 8 decisions. Industrial accident being one of them. Kept our promise there. What's our victory score up to? 45.1. Okay, so I'm feeling like we may potentially be able to win by occupying both these cities, which is pretty plausible to do during this stream. Thinking. Air recon you.
Birds are in the sky. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Air recon you.
Birds are in the sky. Whiskey
Some
Tango
return fire,
Foxtrot.
although we still got sufficient recon. Let's recon there because we didn't get the
Birds
full.
are
There
in
we
the
go.
sky. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
So that's the first one, 14th. We got the 15th in the city, the 12th and the 10th are outside the city. So we'll do an attack with the 12th and the 10th to start with. The full frontage, so infantry assault, this is about as good as we're going to get.
Mission accomplished.
Battle dress showing off. Lost 2 subunits to 21 destroyed. Okay, so the tanks aren't willing... Oh, this bit's still a bit of marsh. Okay, so the tanks aren't willing to come off road for this bit. We'll push the...
Move out.
Was it the 15th into the swamp here? To cut them off.
Mission successful.
Yeah, the 15th. They did retreat not into the pocket, they retreated this way, which in a way is good for them. In a way, it's probably bad for them, because that means we're going to be able to bring in the tanks effectively on the road, and the artillery.
Mission
Okay.
successful.
We're definitely struggling, or stressing out the local logistics. Do we even control a truck station here? We don't control a truck station here. This is why the local logistics is terrible. Because once we're off the line, off the rail line, everything has to be done by truck. That's way far away. So we're getting 42, so we haven't got the plus. Oh no, we're getting the plus 100. That's the plus 100 effectively. So yeah, no, we're off the end of the line basically. So obviously we want to extend the rail. Build a rail head.
Yes, sir.
And I do really need... Granted, it's not going to necessarily be easy to build, but we need a truck station in these locations. It's not going to provide a lot of logistics, but 800 logistics is better than nothing if we can get enough workers for them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if our offensive actually grinds to a halt due to logistical issues. That's usually what grinds an offensive to a halt. CEO ask for a subsidy.
Sir,
Go.
yes, sir.
National budget is usually just
Yes,
confirm.
sir.
Order
Confirm.
acknowledged.
Democracy.
Yes,
Democracy.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you have my support. Appoint a governor for Notodox. Let's roll both a senior... Or actually, let's roll a senior and a civilian.
Roger that.
Put the best one in
Roger that.
charge out of the 3 we have. Cap 2... You're probably the senior. Cap 3... Oh, you might be the senior, too. Cap 3 is going to get the job because they're going to learn better.
Roger that.
And no, we're not
Roger that.
operating a zone right now. We're up to 45.1 because we didn't really take anything new over. Bureaucratic office finished. Soil demilitarization finished. We want to continue expanding the demilitarization facility. No, I can't. City's level 6, and it was upgraded to level 6 already. That was the upgrade to level 5 we were just finishing. Okay, with that done... What do I want to do with that done? Oh, I've already got a demilitarization facility here. I may want to continue expanding this one. What's our surplus power right now? Plenty. Let's continue the expansion here.
Understood.
And we'll, via colonists, provide you enough workers. 2,300.
Understood.
And then spying-wise, if I've got the cards, we'll go ahead and play the cards. I do have a Cold Rebellion 2. Do I have the spies already embedded? I do have the spies already embedded. Let's do Shadow Spy on our Director of Secret Service.
Yes, sir.
And then we can do the Cold Rebellion 2.
Yes, sir.
Critical success, another 12,000 population decide to join the rebels. Could even take the risk of doing another Cold Rebellion 1. Let's do that roll. First, of course, another Shadow Spy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Critical success, another 4,000 joins the rebellion. So that's taking people away from their largest zone and instead transferring them to the rebels. So lowering their score, and by proxy, raising everyone else's score. Okay, let's cycle the turn. We'll see if the situation down here improves with the truck station being, or the supply base being completed, and or with the rail line now being completed. The railhead may help ship supplies down. It's only been done a turn, so it's not, hasn't supplied a lot. Because without the railhead, and the railhead only just finished, it's a 90% reduction for end to end on the rail line. So with it done, we should have increased by a factor of 10 everything down to here. We're still going to have a 10% reduction between here and here, which is one reason we kind of want those truck stations as well, but we'll see what we get. Our round 285, we have 10 decisions. That's one of the decisions. That's another decision.
Order received.
We'll roll the merit here.
Yes, sir.
Critical failure, so we've pissed people off. This is something that just happens sometimes. This is the problem with having high unrest. You don't want these bad events.
Roger that.
Critical failure again, yeah.
I'm on it. Order acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Roger that.
Charismatic Union Chief. That's a 1 in a... No, that's a 1 in 51% chance? 51% chance we'll take a roll on. If we roll 50 or up, we should succeed.
Affirmative.
We did not roll 50 up. Base roll was 47.
Roger that. Yes, sir.
So, how did the bottlenecks improve? They didn't. Sure. Shipping too much stuff. Shipping too much stuff. Probably mostly bullets. What's the delivery looking like? Yeah, of the 155 bullets that were requested, 62 were delivered. So it's mostly delivery of munitions. It's the offensive. We slow the roll down. We'll probably start to stabilize logistics-wise. Just don't want to slow the roll down, you see. Another delay on the High Command Palace, so we're at 4 turns out. We've got 6 to do it in, so still not enough of a delay to actually delay it.
Birds are in the sky. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Going in. Mission successful.
Okay, that's all going to be all the fighting for the turn. Let me actually have replacements ready to ship. In the off chance we have the logistics to ship them. Victor-wise, we're up to 45.2. So the rebellion didn't reduce Becker by very much in stealing population away from them. We did have delays, although all the delays, besides on the High Command Palace, were in the areas of having logistical issues. And they're odd numbers, so they're probably not bad rolls. They're probably just literally shortage of workers and or shortage of delivery on the metal. So nothing really that I can do about that. Petrol isn't out yet, although it's not going to be long before I'm going to have to do that peripheral mining again. Battle's Rest is proceeding... What, that's 3%? Yeah, 3% a turn. Echo Spy Kit should finish next turn. And then, yeah, we're going to do, I think, Geotectonics, probably followed by Radiation Cleansing. I can procrastinate a lot on synthetic fuel. Put some more spies. You failed the spy insertion. Okay, just try again.
Yes, sir.
There we go. First one didn't work. Second one put twice as many in as the first one, or it would have done normally, so it was the same as doing 2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we could do more rebels, but the Cult of Rebellion 1 isn't, I'm gonna say, isn't worth it. let's think about it that way. I need to expand my bureaucracy. Oh, and we were gonna do Galactic
Yes,
Republic
sir.
Mass Driver. Now the blueprints should be upgraded with what units actually have it. Can the light tank have it? No. Medium tank? Yes. 100mm mass driver gun. So that is comparable to, in penetration, it should be comparable to the light laser gun. My understanding. And heavy tank, yeah, it's still 100mm mass heavy. Or mass driver gun, so. Although it probably is pretty light. Yeah, it's, whoa, reasonably light. It says light is 105. Although, that's assuming the listed 100 mil here is in fact the penetration. I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't. Counts as 300mm in caliber calibrations. Okay. So, yeah, this is... If it is actually a 300mm, then that's probably worth running if you can get that before medium lasers. Alright, that would probably be... If that is a 300mm weapon, that is penetration-wise... I believe between these two, between light laser and medium laser. Light should be 200, medium should be... No, it's 100 and 200. So it actually probably is worth running the mass driver on the medium tanks right now. Yeah, it should be worth running the mass driver on the medium tanks right now. Is that actually a light down? No, not really. Although it is a improvement in theory. Although we get pretty heavy ammo consumption. It consumes as much as the high velocity 105mm. Weighs as much too. And shoots a bunch of ammo. Yeah, okay. We're not gonna rush to redesign our tanks with that weapon. Although it probably is the upgrade over the laser weapons that we're using right now. Interesting. Looks like they might be doing light withdrawing. We have battered so many of their units here. I would not be surprised if most of these units are not really all that large. I think we're doing one more turn, and then we'll do the part break at the beginning of the next turn. Round 286, we killed... Or, killed nothing, because there was no fighting over the intern. We have 14 decisions. A lot of decisions. That's one, that's one, that's one. So 3 danger-related decisions. Echo Tracer Spy Kit is complete.
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And then, yeah, here we're going to go Geotectonics. This one's just the customs, and we don't need to modify the customs yet.
Affirmative.
Minor worker strike, so we give you
Copy
give you the
that.
demands, give it demands,
Yes,
give
sir.
it the demands, basically.
Roger.
Do what we can to mitigate it. Do what you can to mitigate it.
Understood.
Rinse and repeat. Shadow Cult, we're just going to tell them no.
Sir, yes, sir.
We are going mined. I probably don't need the merit, but we'll take the mine to merit. With the really shooting improvement.
Move out. Mission successful.
Tempting, but I'm going to resist the urge. Move the recon forward. And the HQs for the units not garrisoning. Construction overview. Port completed. So next turn we should see improvement on the transit. Railhead done. That should improve the rail transport. Demilitarization proceeded speed. High Command Palace proceeded speed. Truck station suffering delays, and there's not much I can do until the logistics improves. Hopefully the sea transport component gets better. Because really what I need to do is I need to force more workers in here. I suppose one thing we could do temporarily. Let's
Yes, sir.
zone order. Or just give the workers a massive raise.
Yes, sir.
This is maybe not a sustainable solution. In fact, it probably isn't even really a solution. Just to get the construction going a little bit faster. And the hiring going a bit faster.
Roger that.
Showing off the ability that we can just throw money at the problem. Oh, we even had some migration too. That's... Or was it, No, it's probably workers quitting. Okay. We can send you workers, and you can probably build a truck hub. Let's do that.
Order acknowledged.
Okay, so I built the truck station there. How many workers do you need? You need just short of 4,000. I'll just straight give you 4,000.
Order
More than you
acknowledged.
need. That should be fine. We need a wage
Standing
increase
by.
to keep the
Order
workers happy so they don't leave.
Order acknowledged.
And then try to keep the wages under control so I can bring those wages down eventually. So the rest of these people as population at you.
Order acknowledged.
Yeah, that metal's got like 5 turns left and it's going to be empty. The oil, I think it is time to drop the peripheral mining on that oil. Although this will be the last expand on it. And then mining optimization is what we're running is at 55. Let's swap that. Org. Wide council.
Order
Research.
acknowledged.
Let's do prospecting optimization. This also, I believe, leads to, when we do the peripheral mining, better results in the peripheral mining. And yeah, as far as equipment to the front, we're logistics bottlenecked. It's ready to go. It just hasn't shipped because it can't ship. Model we're up to 83 on the infantry. Probably is worth doing a heavy battle dress version of that as soon as we get heavy battle dress. So what we're counting 10% into heavy battle dress. Victory-wise, as we come to the end of this part, we're up at 45.6. Go ahead and cycle the turn here. We are going to continue advancing, or at least as much as we can. We're down because we've left 3 brigades behind as garrisons. Until we can start shipping more in, we're down to 3 brigades for the push here. Which doesn't look like that's going to be an issue. What's more likely to be an issue is the difficulty trying to get them their replacement bullets. As we move farther and farther and farther away from our functional supply lines. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put the part break in here. We'll be picking up next time, if you're watching on YouTube, tomorrow on round 287. We'll have 8 decisions at that point. If you're watching on Twitch, this is going to be a short break. I'm going to get up, stretch some legs, sip some tea, and then we will be back to record the next part. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.